Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where, the whole world goes for all their pertinent information. That and YouTube. And, of course, both of them heavily censoring anybody on the right. To my knowledge, I don't remember seeing any stories of YouTube shutting down people who have opinions that exist on the left.
And on the occasion that they do, they quickly reestablish connection.
Yeah. And now YouTube is just banning anything they disagree with about the vaccines. Mm-hmm. Anything that goes against the prevailing opinion of the left is just going to be censored on YouTube now. So we got that going for us. That's perfect. Now they're censoring the same people who, in large part, made them what they are today. These are the people who were begged to come here and create your content right here. You can freely do whatever you want, within reason. We don't want nudity necessarily, but anything else pretty much goes. Go for it. And so they thrived and became billionaires because people created content for them. Now that they've made their fortune, now their ideology is more important than their content providers. So now, I'm sorry, if you have any opinion that's right of them, we're just going to take that down. Sorry. Actually, we're not even sorry. So, I don't know. I don't know how we get a grip on this social media thing. Well, it's a private business. They can do what they want. Not really. We've discussed that whole thing, so agonizing. It's agonizing. By the way, the GOP eked out a win in the return of the Congressional Baseball Game.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're playing that again.
Yes, me too. Because there's nothing else going on right now that demands their attention.
I personally can't think of anything else that's happening in the world.
No, there's nothing going on. We have plenty of time for a baseball game. So Republicans got their third win in 13 years in the annual Congressional Baseball Game, beating the Democrats 13-12.
How did the Democrats win 10 of the last 12 games? Commies don't play baseball. That makes no sense at all.
I know. The annual bipartisan fundraiser, which was canceled last year, of course, because of COVID-19, marked a moment of levity in the midst of an intense week on Capitol Hill as Democrats worked to pass the big economic agenda. What a great win, said Steve Scalise, who was almost killed in the game a couple years ago.
Well, the practice, yeah.
Yeah, the practice, right. What was that? When did that happen? Was that 2017?
Yeah.
Was it 4 years ago now?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. That's amazing.
Or 18, I don't know.
Anyway.
And Biden showed up there because he's got past his bedtime. I'm surprised that he made it there.
I am too.
President Biden making an appearance here.
Look at that C-SPAN broadcasting a baseball game. That's what's so funny.
Speaker Pelosi and
Bizarre.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer just a little while ago at the White House.
They got a heck of a crowd there.
Figure out some things off of the field related to.
Do we know what the attendance was at this thing?
I'll check.
Facing the congressional Democrats and the president. The president going around and shaking hands.
Yeah.
Hi. My name's Joe.
I think a good soccer game. This is a good game of beautiful sport.
They inducted the old man into the Congressional Baseball Hall of Fame.
Biden?
Yeah.
Get out of here. No wonder he showed up. Let me ask you this. Is there any chance you would attend, if you lived in the D.C. area, you would attend the Congressional Baseball Game? And it's softball, right? It's slow pitch softball.
No,
Oh,
not at all.
really?
Yeah.
It's actual fast pitch baseball?
Yeah, Ron Paul was a hero in that game. Absolutely.
Wow.
In fact, as you're asking,
wow.
Let's see the home run that was hit last night by the GOP.
All right.
Democrats were trying to get caught up. Wow,
Hello.
this is a long
Greg
ball.
Stubbe with
Hello.
the first pitch, and the first swing is going to be a home run. Stubbe out of the ballpark.
Oh,
into
great.
the left field bleachers.
Wow.
Stubbe with the very first offering from Pete Aguilar swings and sends it to left field and out.
Yeah, he did.
While everybody's milling with the president, they played baseball, and Stubbe wants to bring the attention back to the field.
That was the difference in the game, too. 13-12, final score. GOP takes the Democrats.
That was a barn burner, that one.
Sure was. A lot of back and forth. It was a crazy contest, Pat.
And apparently Nancy Pelosi was on the phone most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's, working to spend more of our money and raise the debt ceiling and make sure the government doesn't shut down. Man,
the government's not going to shut down.
So close to having it shut down tonight. The
fake panic over this every time is just asinine. It's ridiculous. Whose agenda was she working on? I think we found that out the other day.
Oh.
She was talking about the agenda that she's trying to push through.
Okay, what's this?
Keep government open. We have to do those imminently, more imminently even, to address the full Obama agenda of building back better. And I love to say building back better.
With the Obama agenda. Little Freudian slip there.
She's gone too, man.
Yes, she is. Well, she's 80, right? I believe she's at least 80, maybe 81.
81.
Wow.
Oh, did you see, though, that who is it that is running for Senate? Was it Chuck Grassley? And he's going to be 96 if he wins during his term.
Wow.
At the end of his term.
Wow.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Grassley.
Jeez.
Spry.
Yeah. This is why we need term limits, because the other term limit that we actually do have, called an election, that's not working to limit these people. If they've been in office and they're the incumbent and you don't have any, they haven't killed anybody, you're going to vote for them. Maybe even if they have killed somebody.
I was going to say Ted Kennedy hung around for a long time.
Right.
Right. I don't know that one has to do with the other and how you set it up, but that's what came to mind.
But Democrats didn't even care. What? He only killed one woman, right? That we know of. So that's not that bad. Yesterday, General Mark Milley, chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, conceded in a stark admission that the U.S. lost the war in Afghanistan. I personally disagree with that. We left. And then, so if you leave the baseball field and they're not playing against you anymore, they didn't beat you, right? You left. Anyway, it's clear, he said. It is obvious to all of us that the war in Afghanistan did not end on the terms we wanted, with the Taliban in power in Kabul. The war was a strategic failure. It wasn't lost in the last 20 days or even 20 months. There's a cumulative effect to a series of strategic decisions that go way back. Well, I believe that part of it. I believe that they screwed up many times along the way. We should have won that thing and gotten the heck out 18 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, remember being frustrated when Bush, we were waiting for shock and awe?
Yeah.
Or that was was that Iraq? Where was that? Anyway, it never came, wherever it was.
Never, he said it came. But none of us were shocked or awed by it.
Like I said, man, back in, I don't know, a couple of years into it, when I heard that we had sights on a gathering of Taliban at a funeral, and we didn't take the shots because the attorneys thought it wouldn't play well internationally.
Yeah.
So that's, what are we doing there?
And then, on the other hand, then what they did do is take a shot when they shouldn't have. It completely missed any terrorists and completely killed an innocent family of 10. So, I mean, when Democrats are in charge, or these Republicans in name only, too, things just don't go well. And now, yesterday, Representative Marsha Blackburn asked General Milley about his recent book interviews that he's been doing.
General Milley, Yes or no to this? Did you talk to Bob Woodward or Robert Costa for their book Peril?
Woodward, yes. Costa, no.
Did you talk to Carol Leonick and Philip Rucker for their book Alone Can I Fix It?
Yes.
Did you talk to Michael Bender for his book is Frankly, We Did Win This Election, the Inside Story of How Trump Lost? Yes?
Yes.
And were you accurately represented in these books?
I haven't read any of the books, so I don't know. I've seen press reporting of it. I haven't read the books.
Let's have you read the books and then let us know if you are accurately presented
Absolutely.
and portrayed.
Happy to do that.
Senator Blackburn, we're adhering to the 5-minute rule.
He's been busy.
Yeah, he has. Wow, he's collaborated on a lot of books, hasn't he? All anti-Trump, I'm sure.
Well, that last one, yeah.
Yeah.
That last one, that title alone.
Jeez.
Man.
Also, Representative Matt Gaetz had some feelings as well.
You really blew that call, didn't you, General?
Uh-oh.
I believe that was a issue of strategic stalemate, and that if we had remained in Afghanistan with the advisory levels of effort, then the government of Afghanistan.
Well, that's an interesting
Afghan
answer to a
security
question. It's
forces-
just not one I asked. You spent more time with Bob Woodward on this book than you spent analyzing the very likely prospect that the Afghanistan government was going to fall immediately to the Taliban, didn't you?
Not even close, Congressman.
Oh, really? Because you said right after Kabul fell that no one could have anticipated the immediate fall of the Ghani government. When did you become aware that Joe Biden tried to get Ghani to lie about the conditions in Afghanistan? He did that in July. Did you know that right away?
I'm not aware of what President Biden.
You're not aware of the
lying or-
phone call that Biden had with Ghani where he said, whether it is true or not, we want you to go out there and paint a rosy picture of what's going on in Afghanistan. You're the chief military advisor to the president. You said that the Taliban was not going to defeat the government of Afghanistan militarily, which, by the way, they cut through them like a hot knife through butter. And then the president tries to get Ghani to lie. When did you become aware of that attempt?
Well, there's two things there, Congressman, if I may. One is what I said was the situation was stalemate, and if we kept advisors with there, the government of Afghanistan and the Army would have still been there. That's what I said. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But
it seems wrong now with
well,
the Taliban in
we
control.
withdrew all the
Question
we
for
withdrew all the
Secretary
advice.
Austin. Secretary Austin, are you capable of assessing whether another has the will to fight?
No, we're not, and that's the point that the chairman made earlier.
That's just like an incredibly disappointing thing for the Secretary of Defense to simply say, I can't assess whether someone has the will to fight, but it is consistent with your record. I mean, during the Obama administration, I think they gave you about $48 million to go train up some folks in Syria to go take on the Assad government, and I think your testimony was that only 4 or 5 survived first contact with the enemy.
Oh, my gosh.
So what confidence should this committee have in you, or
Wow.
should the country have in you, when you've now confessed to us, and whether it's the swing and a miss in Afghanistan that General Milley talked to the Senate about yesterday, total failure, or whether it was your failures in Syria, you don't seem capable to look at a fighting force and determine whether or not they have the will.
Well,
Is that an embarrassing?
You recall, Congressman, that the end result was the SDF that we stood up that was very, very instrumental in turning the tide of battle up in Syria.
Oh, yeah. Turned it so much, you've got Assad in power in Syria, you've got the Taliban in power in Afghanistan. I mean, where have you been?
The focus was ISIS, Congressman, and those forces had significant effect on the ISIS network.
It just seems like you're chronically bad at this, and you have admitted
It
that,
does.
I guess, which is
It really does.
to your credit. But you know, when people in the military, like Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, stand up and demand accountability, when they say that you all screwed up, when they point out that General Milley's statement that that the government of Afghanistan is not going to get defeated by the Taliban, well, he ends up in the brig. And you all end up in front of us, and your former employer, Raytheon, ends up with a lot of money, and we have poured cash and blood and credibility into a Ghani government that was a mirage. It fell immediately. And while the guy sitting next to you was off, talking to Phil Rucker and was off doing his thing with Bob Woodward, we were buying into the big lie. The big lie that this was ever going to be successful and that we could ever rely on the Afghanistan government for anything at all. General Milley, you kind of gave up the game earlier when you said you wanted to address elements of your personal conduct that were in question.
It's all good.
We're not questioning your personal conduct. We're questioning in your official capacity going and undermining the chain of command, which is obviously what you
China.
did. You've created this whole chain
not
of
undermine the
communication
chain
narrative.
of command in
Yeah,
any
you
manner,
did.
shape, or form,
You absolutely did. And it
not.
Well, you know what? You said yesterday that you weren't going to resign when senators asked you this question. And I believe that you guys probably won't resign. You seem to be very happy failing up over there. But if we didn't have a president that was so addled, you all would be fired. Because that is what you deserve. You have let down the people who wear the uniform in my district and all around this country, and you're far more interested in what your perception is and how people think about you in Insider Washington books than you care about winning.
Gentleman's
This
time
group
has
seems incapable
expired.
of doing.
Nice.
Mr. Littlehan is recognized.
Wow, what a beatdown.
I mean, seriously.
What an incredible beatdown.
Because we'll watch these clips and we'll say, hey, take this part to this part. No. You can have the entire 4 minutes and 55 seconds of a butt kicking right there.
Wow.
Nice job, Matt Gaetz.
He was right on point, eloquent. How do you dispute anything he said? You can't. It was all factual.
Yeah, and he had I love it when they have an answer for everything.
I do too. Man.
Yeah, you want to do that? Okay, well then what about this?
That was great. Really good. All right, 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Tommy John. Fall can be chaos for you in your pants.
Whoa.
You're overheating 1 second and freezing the next. So to be ready for anything, you need underwear that can handle everything.
Right?
So that's why it's time for Tommy John underwear. When you start off your day wearing Tommy John, you're that much more comfortable so you can do everything better. I mean, it just really helps, especially when it's not going to ride up and, they got the guarantee that it won't.
So comfortable.
The most comfortable you're ever going to wear. They're breathable, lightweight, moisture-wicking fabric, 4 times the stretch of competing brands. Really, really comfortable. That's why Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics. 16 million pairs sold. People who absolutely love this product. The underwear is great. The loungewear is great. You're absolutely going to love it and get your money's worth. And right now you can get 20% off your first order when you go to TommyJohn.com/unleashed. That's TommyJohn.com/unleashed for 20% off.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Talking about the hulks that we have to go through. It seems every year, certainly, and sometimes a couple of times a year, with this debt ceiling situation, because the looming federal government shutdown would be catastrophic. So Democrats in Congress said yesterday they have a resolution to keep the federal government funded and avoid a shutdown that would begin at midnight tonight. So that means it's been separated from a more contentious effort to suspend the debt ceiling. Mm-hmm. So they're going to just say, hey, there's never a ceiling. We don't have to worry about ever tightening our belts or working with a budget. We don't ever have to worry about it.
Clowns.
That's unbelievable. The resolution would pay for the government to keep operating through December. This is what they do. Just kick it down the road. Just don't even kick it down the road. Democrats initially tied the funding measure to a bill to suspend the debt ceiling until next year, which Republicans have nearly universally opposed. If the debt ceiling isn't suspended or raised by the middle of October, the U.S. could begin to default on some of its debt. That's not going to, not going to allow it. It can't get to that point.
Yeah.
They're just not going to do that.
I mean, we've already had our credit rating downgraded in recent years, right?
Yeah.
So this is good, though.
Right.
We're a stable.
Yes.
Freedom-loving.
Right. Superpower, if you will.
Superpower.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Economic superpower. The greatest economic engine on this planet. That's all.
So it sounds like that the Republicans and the Democrats are going to get things worked out today.
What a surprise that will be. Surprise!
Put us into more debt and keep on going.
It's all theater because they can't let it happen. You know, they can't let the United States start defaulting on debt. That just can't happen. It would be catastrophic. And that's what they warn us about every single time. But they want us to get all up in arms every single time so that we'll tell the Republicans, just give in. It's too scary. Just give in. Take away the debt ceiling.
So if we default, do we get a new government out of the deal?
Yeah. No. Unfortunately, that's not the way that works.
Shut it down, boys.
When will gas prices go down? Nobody knows.
Never a clock.
But that's certainly taking a toll on the finances of middle and lower income families. Gas prices in the U.S. have gone up significantly in 2021, like over $1 a gallon, right? So when will the prices go down? Yeah, again, nobody knows. They've been going up, and amid the rise in crude oil prices, Brent crude oil is back above $80 a barrel. Wow. WTI prices are trading near $76 per barrel. WTI crude oil prices are currently trading at 3-year highs, and consumers are feeling the pinch. Higher fuel and food prices have pushed up U.S. inflation, of course. The core inflation is at 4%, while the CPI was 5.3% last month. And again, we're lucky it's that low, because if they weren't artificially keeping things together right now, and they can't do this forever, but if they stopped printing money, wow.
So the price of oil, you said it's over 80?
Mm-hmm. $80 a barrel.
I was just looking up something here, and I stumbled on an old tweet of mine from April of 2020, and the price of oil was below $0. Remember that? When it cost more because of the pandemic and stuff.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
How quickly things have changed in a year and a half, man.
Turned around completely.
What a pendulum swing.
That's why it costs, again, for my tank, like $74 to fill up right now. $74 a week. That's outrageous.
Yeah. And
it hurts. And then you talk about people who have to pay tolls on top of that in New York City.
Yeah.
And wherever else, you have to. In New York, it can be really expensive to pay those tolls. And then you get to pay the price of parking your car at some garage in Manhattan. So I really feel for people. I feel your pain. In Manhattan, if you drive to work, you should probably stop doing that. Maybe take transit, mass transit. Although I hated, on the days when I took transit, the train, I hated being at the mercy of the train schedule.
Oh, you didn't like New Jersey Transit?
No, I did not.
So good, right?
No, I didn't like that.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That was before manspreading was a word, too.
Yeah.
You just kind of...
Yeah.
You just sit really wide, and you're just like, it has nothing to do with being a man. It has the fact that I don't want anybody sitting near me, so I'm going to make it look like, no, I need
There's
all
no
this
room.
space.
There's just no room here.
And I got my bag here. I didn't realize there was a floor I could have put it. Oh, you say there's a thing up there, too? I didn't know that.
Didn't
sorry.
see it. Didn't see it there.
Boy, I just feel sorry. You could have stopped right there. I just feel sorry if you live in New York.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yes. And apparently we're going to have to get used to this stuff because they say until at least the end of the year, the inflation is going to continue. So get used to paying more for food, gas, cars, goods and services.
Everything.
Everything.
Oh, you know what? Oh, where is that? There's like do we have the inflation little thing there with the dials, Rob? You know, the little circles. It looks like
U.S.
this.
inflation pressure?
Yeah, look at this thing. We got that? I don't know. I forgot to ask for that one today.
Oh.
Yeah, shoot.
It shows the consumer price index is up to 5. That's the recent peak.
Okay.
And then the next square is the core consumer price index minus food and energy, and that's still at 4.
Mm-hmm. If you're listening, this is a 1 to 5 risk category for all of these. So we got a 5 and a 4.
Then we have the personal consumption expenditures, and that's at a 4 out of 5. And then the risk for the personal consumption expenditures index minus food and energy is at a 3. So no matter how you look at it.
But look at this, though. On each of these, the 10-year average and where the Fed wants to be, it's all in the 1 category. The 10-year average of all of these is a 1. We're in a 5, 4, 4, 3. Oh, help us.
Yep.
It's not good, man.
Seriously, he's brought us back Joe Biden has brought back the Jimmy Carter days to about the 10th power.
Yeah.
So congratulations, America. Thank you for voting for this guy. 81 million of you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
81 million, the most ever, because he's so beloved. Am I right?
Beloved.
And nobody's more beloved than Joe Robinette Biden. So
I'm just grateful that America really wised up. You know, he was in Washington for 50 plus years, and we finally said, you know what? We're going to give this guy a try. We've loved him so much for 50 years that we really want to show him.
He's been so effective in all that time. Yeah.
Loved.
Also, shipping is delayed everywhere, and you can blame the California ports because they don't have any employees there right now to unload ships. The unemployment benefits are such that in California, nobody wants to go back to work. They're making less money if they work than if they sit at home and watch Netflix. I mean, a lot of people are going to choose that if given the choice. Hey, you want to stay home and do whatever you want and make more money than you would if you went back to work? Let me think. Yes. And we got this shipping chart right now. Do we have that one as
oh my
we can show? No, there you
somebody
go.
sent this to us.
A little bit backed up there in California.
Oh my.
Just a tad backed up.
Oh no.
And all along the East Coast as well, as you can see.
Look at how they're in the harbor there, at the port. I mean.
They're just jammed in there.
Wow. Do we have the picture from, I don't know, how many feet out? Oh gosh, look at that. That's
wow.
That's fun. It really puts it into perspective. Look at that right there. They're just lined up there.
Yep. You can't even make your way around them. It's so backed up.
And if you look at that, you know, it doesn't look like much going on there. But go back to that ship. That was a great picture you have, Rob, of all of the. I mean, that really puts it into perspective of how many tractor trailers are represented by those. You know.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what those are.
Yeah. Because look at the size of that thing. It's gigantic.
Oh.
Gigantic. And then so when it gets to port, then you unload it, and you put it on trucks, and you drive them to their destination. Well, there's no truck drivers either. I mean, there are some, obviously. But they're having a huge shortage now of people who can drive the trucks. So you don't have people unloading the ships. You don't have people driving the trucks. And if you did have people driving the trucks, when they stop in at a rest stop, maybe to get something to eat along the way, the restaurants are closed because they don't have employees. It's just unbelievable.
And remember, was it the Obama era when they made truckers stop for however many hours? I know a ton of truckers listen to this show, and hopefully you'll tweet at me. But what is the ratio? You have to stop and sleep or whatever?
Yeah, I think, yes. Yeah. Maybe somebody can fill us in on that.
Man.
I think we also have the photo of the sign that says the employee shortage.
Oh, gosh.
Sign, everywhere a sign. This sign, the employee shortage is so bad.
How bad is it?
Well, it's so bad that long-haired freaky people can now apply.
Yes.
And of course, from the 5-Man Electrical Band song.
Aha. So good.
Long-haired freaky people need not apply. Well, now they can.
Now they can.
Now that's how hard up we are.
That's how desperate. Yeah. So good. So maybe there's hope now for some folks that couldn't get a job in the past. Now there's avenues open to them.
Appreciate Pathead Turk sending us that sign.
Yeah,
that's fun. I don't know what town that's in, but
any town,
clever.
USA.
Mm-hmm. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Think they'll ever build a road between Keith's house and Pat's house?
No! Please, no! No! No!
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on The Blaze.
About 23% haven't gotten any shots.
Wow, those
And
bastards.
that distinct minority is causing an awful lot of us, an awful lot of damage for the rest of the country.
A lot of damage.
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Thank you.
That's why I'm moving forward with vaccination requirements wherever I can.
That's why he's doing it. Okay? Because you stinking unvaccinated people won't comply. So if you won't comply, he has to make you comply.
Come at me, old man.
He's coming at you. He's coming at you, whippersnapper. If you won't comply, then everybody will die.
Okay.
Came up with a little rhyme.
That was good, Joe.
Like Bill Wadsworth, Longfellow guy, the guy who does poems.
Yeah, that's good.
You know?
It's good.
That guy.
It's a good hit reference there, Joseph Robinette.
It's great to see the Great Divide continuing, isn't it? You know, the big uniter of the United States of America continuing to blame unvaccinated people for this pandemic. I'm sorry. How many vaccinated people have gotten the coronavirus virus? Lots. A lot. Don't tell me this is an unvaccinated pandemic. That's bull crap. We got over 70%, I believe now, are fully vaccinated. Something like 70. Well, that's where he gets a 23% figure.
Yeah.
77% are at least partially vaccinated.
Correct.
77%.
That's stunning.
And that should be it. We should be fine with that.
That should be leave me alone time.
Yes. Between that number and the number of people who've already gotten COVID-19, you got to be in the mid to upper 80s.
Yeah, but we got to get to 98%.
Yeah, we're not going to get to 98%.
Well, the old man says 98%.
I know it.
Old ass bum in there.
I know it. But we're not getting there. And everybody knows that. They know they're not going to get 98% of the American people to line up like sheep and get this stupid vaccine. They're not going to. 888-900-3393. The Steve 42 tweeted, correction, Nancy Pelosi is not 81 years old. She's undead.
That's a good way to look at it. I wonder how Joe feels about old Nancy calling out another president's name.
Yeah.
Earlier.
I don't know. Jimmy Dimples, C-SPAN broadcasting a baseball game? Why not? Today's ESPN broadcast politics.
That is awesome. Great point.
Really good. Sarah tweets, I didn't see a mask on Biden at that congressional baseball game or social distancing. Yeah, yeah, but you keep forgetting, Sarah.
What's that?
They're the elite. They don't have to, that's not for them.
Okay.
All these edicts and requirements, that's for us, the little people. The elite people they don't have that. They don't need to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, your kids are in school wearing masks all day in many parts of the country. I don't see Joe Biden and his buddies.
Never. They're never. When the camera's not on, and sometimes even when it is, they don't have masks on.
It's enraging.
The only time they do it is for show. That's the only time. All right. We asked about truckers. We got 1 billion truckers on the line to tell us about some of the requirements and what's going on there. Ron in Indiana. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Hi. Morning.
Hey. Morning.
Pat. Just wanted to reiterate my stance on term limits. All this mess can be straightened up really quick, and I'm starting to hear more about term limits, flat taxes, and loser pay clauses in their court systems. It's worked in all the other countries where it's been done, and I'm really hoping that out of this badness here and this hideous mess, that we'll come out with some sort of a flat tax and a loser pay clause, and also the most important thing is term limits. I swear to you, but this would not happen if we had term limits. Everybody says, "Well,
you're right."
No. They got to be down there enough to know somebody, and if they don't know them, they're not going to have anything to do with them.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Ron. Yeah, it's when they've been in office for 20, 30, 40 years, and they got that buddy system going now, and they all go along to get along. That's what happens. The other thing that needs to happen, in addition to a flat tax, which would be awesome, I don't know that you can ever do it with this equality crap, because if everybody pays 15%, then that means I pay the exact same amount of money as Jeff Bezos does. And that's not fair. No, if you're paying 15% of your salary and he's paying 15% of his, I guarantee that's not the same amount of money that you're paying. But, we've been so indoctrinated now, and our kids are so indoctrinated in the school system that it's hard to get people off of that theory that, that's not fair. They need to pay their fair share, which is more, of course, more than, and they already think that they're getting by scot-free. The middle class in this country thinks that they're wealthy, don't pay any taxes at all.
Yeah, I'd like to visit that number, though. Are you married to the 15% number, or are you just throwing that out there?
No, I'm just throwing it out
cool.
there.
All right. Because remember, Herman Cain had his 999 plan, huh? Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
If 10% is enough,
sweet.
If 10% is enough for God,
right?
9% is enough for the government.
Yes.
Of course, they think they're God, so maybe we'll give them 10 just to get them to shut up.
That would be great, but I don't know that can ever happen. But in addition to that and term limits, the other thing we need to do, I'll say this till the day I drop dead, we need to get these Congress people back in their district, answerable to their constituents.
Yeah.
Stop with the Washington, D.C. crap. In this day and age, we don't need to do that.
If the pandemic showed us anything, it's that anybody practically could work from home.
Yes.
Like you guys in Congress.
And they did during the pandemic. Do it again, just permanently. And be answerable to the people that you live around. Then things would change. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. When you're not just cavorting with all of your colleagues in Washington, D.C., and there's none of your constituents around, and you don't have to answer the phone. It's not you. It's one of your underlings who are answering the phone. You don't have to open your email. You're not doing any of that. You're not in contact with people. So you think that you're untouchable, and you vote however you please. Well, that would change a lot if you were in your own district. That would change a lot.
Yeah, make them so they have to show up at that office building.
Yes,
right. Yeah,
every day.
I love it.
Every day.
Let's do this.
It would change the world. Wes in Oklahoma. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Keith. How you guys? Beautiful show, like always.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gives us something to do. Informs us.
Yeah.
I know you stay busy without it. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
So what's up?
Anyway, yeah. Well, you asked about hours of service, and just so happens back when Jeffy was filling in for Christmas one time, I got to come on and speak about the hours of service, and I'm ready to do it again. What questions do you guys have about truckers' hours of service? I'm here at your beck and call.
How many hours can you drive before you have to stop and rest?
Okay, we're allowed 11 hours in a 14-hour period, but we have to take a 30-minute break somewhere before the 8-hour mark. And if you mess up and take it earlier in the day, guess what? You got to take another one before you hit another 8 hours.
And how do they know if you do that?
Because we have electronic logs. We can't get away with anything anymore.
Wow.
The days of fun trucking are way gone. I mean, there's still a few companies that are on paper, as we call it, but they're few and far between, and they'll figure some way to worm them out.
Hang on,
eventually.
Wes. Hold on. I've got two questions here.
Yes, sir.
How is this electronic monitoring? Like, through what kind of device are you referring to?
Okay, there's several different models. My company uses what's called a PeopleNet, but there's also like I can't believe I used one for years. It just went out of my mind. But there's a couple of different ones, and some of them actually allow you to do download an app on your phone. I'm not familiar with those at all.
I mean, is it watching you? Is it a camera, or what is this?
No. No, there's a different device that does that in some companies. No, what this does is it's hooked up to electronics in your truck, because we've got like 40 computers in these trucks now just to get them down the road. And it monitors your speed, GPS.
Wow.
A lot of them work off of cell phone towers. Some of them actually work off satellite.
Okay.
But it just constantly monitors you and lets you know when you're moving.
My second question is, how do they know if you're actually asleep, or do they?
They don't.
Okay.
Unless it's one of those that has the camera that monitors you.
Yeah. They're going to get to that. I mean, do you guys even talk on the CB radio anymore? I mean, is Channel 19 still a thing?
Yes and no. I quit worrying about a CB years ago because it got to the point that the big radios, especially a lot of the base radios that were putting out thousands of watts, you couldn't talk. And there would be so much traffic. And there's so many people out there just being jerks that just didn't want to keep people from talking. And so and then just the fights, the CB Rambos, the fights and all that. So I kind of got where I just didn't do anything anymore on the radio.
Oh, no.
And I've got one in here, but my coax is bad. And I keep saying I'm going to go down and get new coax put in and everything. But with cell phones and stuff, it's
right.
Man. So now I would like to have it working because it's very handy, especially if coming up on an accident, you can find out what's going on because there still are some guys out here. I got a friend that's religious. His is on if he's in the truck.
Do you still warn each other when the fuzz is up ahead?
Oh yeah. Well, for the ones that have CBs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Wes. Appreciate it. That's a lot of great info.
South, man. I grew up in the South talking on the CB radio. I hate to hear it's dying out, man.
Breaker 19, Breaker 19. Smokey on your 10.
Smokey on your would he be on your 10?
Yeah.
Oh, does that
10?
Okay.
I
guess
I don't know. I forget the really
what was your
cool,
the
really hip CB lingo.
Yeah.
I don't remember it as well as I probably should.
I bet your what was your handle? I'm sure you got on the CB radio all the time, right?
No, I did not.
Huh.
No, I sure didn't.
That's too bad. I was Black Dog after my favorite Led Zeppelin song.
Were you?
Yeah.
Nice.
So those were good days, man. Talking on the CB radio.
All right. Well, I think that was good information. Let's see if Paul has anything different for us. Hey, Paul in Florida, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
You are. Go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm sitting north of Tampa and stopped, or not Tampa, but Atlanta and stopped traffic. So I can walk you through the whole process. You got 14 hours that you can work. You can extend that 14 hours to 16 hours. And by the way, if there's any truck drivers out there that I get this wrong, please say something. You can extend it to 16 hours if you do what's called a split sleeper berth. They have three different split sleeper berths. There's a 3-7, a 5-5, and an 8-2. And what that means is you go into the sleeper berth. There's 4 different things on your log. You've got you got on duty, you've got sleeper berth, you've got off duty, and you got drive. You cannot change the drive unless you work for an awesome company like I do, and they can adjust some things on your log. Yeah.
Well, we won't tell the name of the company.
Sometimes you can get away with some stuff. There's leeways around some of these things. But
after you work a long shift, do you have to sleep for 10 hours?
Well, if you do a split sleeper berth, that would be I drove 5 hours and I sat in a shipper for 6 hours. Okay, well, that would constitute the 5-5 split. So I extended my work day by 2 hours, which gives me 16 hours, and I still have 6 hours on my drive clock.
Okay.
You can't drive any more than 11 hours.
Right.
Okay, so...
Right. Which kind of makes sense, because it probably gets dangerous after that amount of time, right?
Well,
I mean, you don't want to you don't want to fall asleep
I've done 20 hours before. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Wow. And you're sitting in traffic right now north of Atlanta. What's your exact 20 there, Paul?
Good buddy.
260.
Wait, where are you?
No. We don't do good buddies. Okay.
You don't do good buddy. I was letting that go. Paul's not letting it go. No, where are you right now north of Atlanta? You're in my old stomping grounds. I know you're sitting on I-75 or 285 right now.
75 south. I'm getting on 285 here in 2 miles.
You're in the thick of it.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate the info. 888-900-3393. I'm just glad I don't do it. Man, I couldn't.
Right. God bless them.
Not do
My
that.
gosh. I mean, the truckers and you guys listening right now, sincerely.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you do.
You don't make enough money.
Oh, my gosh.
You need to make more.
There would be
because every time this kind of stuff comes up, and it hasn't come up very often because they're so good at what they do, and our supply chain has been pretty flawless and smooth. But then you throw a monkey wrench into it like a pandemic, and you realize, oh my gosh. Or you throw a monkey wrench into it like a labor shortage, and then you realize how important truckers are.
Yeah, don't cut off truck drivers, y'all.
Yeah, they're the ones who get our food to the grocery store.
Seriously.
What do you think is going to be on the shelves if we don't have truckers driving all the goods and services there? I mean, it's a rude awakening when truckers aren't able to get their supplies to their destinations. Then America suffers. And we've seen how fast it can happen, too. We all take this stuff for granted. And now, I think it's going to be a little different after this because we understand that everything can go south in about a day, 2 days. Civilization breaks down after about 3 days of a hardship. And then you see what goes awry. Then you got looting, rioting, unrest.
Yeah, but you're not describing America I know and love. I've never heard of such a thing here.
No? You haven't?
No. So, I mean, you're talking hypotheticals? Yeah. No, it is. It is so scary how we are just on the edge, razor's edge every day in this country.
Yep.
So much. The margin is so thin.
Yep. Got an Antifa member who is charged with shooting an anti-vaxxer in Washington, somebody who didn't want a vaccine, I guess. Antifa member with a long history of posting far-left extremist content online has been arrested and charged with the shooting of a guy who hadn't been vaccinated in Olympia, Washington.
So you hold a protest because you don't want to get vaccinated, and Antifa shows up and shoots you? That seems...
Yeah, apparently a couple dozen Antifa from around the Pacific Northwest traveled to the Washington State Capitol building to try to shut down an anti-COVID vaccine mandate protest. The black-clad group was met by the rally's volunteer right-wing security, who included Proud Boys members. When the Antifa group ran into the intercity transit station, one of their masked members turned around and fired 5 9mm pistol rounds in the direction of the right-wing group, which is about 50 feet behind him. And Proud Boys member Tusitala Tosi was injured in the shooting. So, yeah, don't worry about Antifa. It's not really a group. It's just a state of mind. There's no such thing as Antifa.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that what Biden told us?
Nadler.
Yeah, Jerry Nadler told us that. Welcome. Got some tweets here. Tyler tweets, I don't miss the days of e-logs and trying to beat the clock to get receivers, finding places to park. Too tall is 10-10 on the side, catch you on the flip-flop, keep the shiny side up, good buddy. Little lingo there.
That's good. It sounded natural from you.
CB, I guess. I'm a lickin' butter, tweets, sounds like to be a trucker today, you must be fluent in Jeffy math.
Oh, no.
So if we put the 18-minute together along with the 7-minute together, you got 22 minutes. You sell it with 8 minutes of ads, you got 30 minutes.
You know, you ever done the math on that?
Yes.
What is it actually? 33 or something?
I don't know. Let's listen to it again.
Okay, let's do the
I
math.
have. It's obviously not right.
So if we put the 18-minute together along with the 7-minute together, you got 22 minutes.
No,
you
you got
sell it with 8 minutes of ads, you got 30
minutes. 33. Yeah. You get 33.
I've never taken the time.
You get 33 minutes. From Troy Vicker, I didn't choose to be unvaccinated. I was born this way.
Yes.
I like it. Bob Loblaw, sales tax is a flat tax. So why can't income tax be flat too?
No, that's not how progressives work, bro.
No, it is not.
So what was, do you remember the 999? Was that 9 income, 9 national sales, and 9 capital gains, right? I don't know.
That might be right.
That's all I'm thinking of now.
Might be
Niner.
right.
Thank you for that. God rest his soul, Herman Cain.
Oh, that's right. He's gone. We lost him.
COVID.
Didn't we? Yeah. Jeez. That's crazy.
Yeah, let's see. Payroll, capital gains, estate tax. Wait. No, personal. I was right. Wait. Personal income tax.
Okay.
National sales tax.
Yes.
And a corporate tax of 9%.
And a corporate.
Those were the 3.
Which would be tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all reasonable rates. That's reasonable. What they're talking about now, where people in New York, for instance, wealthy in New York would pay 62.5% of their income. Jeez, come on now. That's just, that's immoral.
Or as
It's
Mr.
immoral.
50 Cent says, I don't love the people in New York that much. I'm moving to Texas. Did I ever tell you this time that my mother-in-law was staying in the same hotel as 50 Cent?
Yeah.
And when she said, have you guys ever heard of Mr. 50 Cents? Have you heard of him, Mr. 50 Cents? He's staying at my hotel. Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard of Mr. 50 Cents. Yeah, we've heard it. It's a fine gentleman.
Love you, Donna.
This is fascinating. because I heard the other day that Pfizer is working on a treatment. Okay, so they have the vaccine, the so-called vaccine. It's really not, but they have the vaccine, and that's going to become the biggest selling drug of all time if it's not already. Now they're working on a therapy. So if you get the virus, then this is something you take that lessens the symptoms. Well, now we find out that what they're launching is an accelerated phase 2-3 trial for a COVID prophylactic pill designed to ward off COVID in those that come in contact with it. Interestingly, it is suspiciously similar, people in the know, to horse paste. Huh. Isn't that interesting? So Pfizer's drug shares, at least one mechanism of action is ivermectin, an antiparasitic used in humans for decades, which functions as a protease inhibitor against COVID-19, which researchers speculate could be a biophysical basis behind its antiviral efficiency. Okay, so now Pfizer's new drug, which some have jokingly dubbed Pfizermectin, is described by the pharmaceutical giant as a potent protease inhibitor. So it's like ivermectin.
Yeah.
In other words, they're developing their own ivermectin, and they're probably going to charge a fortune for it when you can get ivermectin for $2 or $3. And we've been ridiculed and mocked and laughed at and told that we're killers and we're stupid and we're morons for even considering taking ivermectin, which is for horse deworming. Huh. All these people that are going and getting horse paste for COVID-19. What morons.
Mm-hmm.
And now Pfizer has realized, okay, yeah, there is something to this. It's a protease inhibitor. That's why ivermectin is working, apparently. So they're going to do something just like it.
Yeah, pretty fun, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Pretty awesome. You know,
I love it.
You had mentioned there how they were going to sell this new drug. And I thought, you know what? I mean, you don't need me to tell you that it's a racket, the pharmaceutical companies, that somehow the left has shifted from Big Pharma to let's empower Big Pharma for the rest of our lives.
Apparently they love it now. Love it.
Just to exist as a citizen in good standing.
Right.
But I was looking at the stock price for Pfizer back in when the pandemic started. They were down at $30, and now it's not that
$30 a share.
$30 a share. It's not that dramatic now, but they are up to 43. They were up to 48 just a couple weeks ago. Okay, but then I started typing in the other people that made the vaccine. Moderna was $21 a share.
Okay.
In March of 2020. Today, right now, you could buy one share for $378.91. Holy
cow.
If you...
How come they've gone up so much more than Pfizer, I wonder?
Well, they developed that theirs is the mRNA. It's the...
so is Pfizer.
Is it really?
Yeah, they're both mRNA.
Well, then I don't know.
Johnson & Johnson?
Johnson & Johnson stock. Yeah, hang on. I was so stunned by the Moderna one, I just stopped looking.
Wow, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. What's the fourth one, too? AstraZeneca?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. So they're at 164 today. What were they in March of 20? Well, they were bottomed out at... okay, so they're at 119. So they've gone from 119 to 164.
Okay.
And AstraZeneca...
Wow, Pfizer... I mean, Moderna's jump was...
Right.
That's dramatic.
Because aren't they the ones that didn't have anything going for them forever?
Yeah.
And then this thing happened. I'm sure it was all... Never mind. Let's see here. They've gone from a low of 39 to 59. So yeah, far and away.
They're all doing well.
But far and away.
Moderna's doing the best.
Okay. My gosh.
Wow. Student records. A student recorded a professor ridiculing people who are hesitant about taking the vaccine. This is what's going on in our schools. It's what's going on in our media. Everybody who's just the least bit concerned about this unknown substance we're getting injected with. And it is brand new, so nobody really knows the long-term effects because you can't know them. We haven't been using it long enough. So if you want to discount every single side effect that's reported on the VAERS website, go ahead. But nobody knows the long-term effect this could have on the human body. Nobody knows. So one day you may really regret, well, you probably won't because these are douchebags who are doing this. But you might realize how wrong you really were for mocking all of these people. But here's a teacher doing it, which makes it all the more fun.
My grandparents, they knew a lot of people with polio. But you know what got rid of polio?
What?
Eradicated it from being a serious problem in this country? A vaccine. Now I know that some, Karen sitting on her toilet doing research on Facebook has tremendous insight on the industry of vaccines. Now I know we should probably listen to Karen more than we listen to the CDC. No, I actually don't agree with that.
Oh, thanks, Judy.
What am I talking about?
Nobody knows.
Wow, just the arrogance of it. That's amazing. That's amazing. And how many videos do we have that we won't even show you because they're just too disturbing? We've got this baby shaking video. After this baby's mother was made to get the shot in order to receive care, then through her breast milk, the baby received a little dose of the vaccine as well, and was shaking uncontrollably. Now they're trying to figure out how to stop that for the baby.
Yeah,
we got the woman who was crying as she talked about her sister dying after getting the shot. No, nobody's died. No, that's not true. I wonder why the CDC has the VAERS website then, which shows about 15,000 at last count have died from this. We have the NCAA athlete who told us from a hospital bed that his athletic career is over after getting the shot. A 16-year-old girl who wants to be a kid again, but her brain won't stop flaring up after getting the shot. None of those, though, are from the shot, right? They're just all coincidence. It just happened to happen right after they got the shot.
Yeah, and just to talk about that baby for a second, that was, she had the shot about a month or two before she gave birth. So I don't know that maybe it travels through breast milk. I assume it does if it travels through the placenta. But it's just heartbreaking to see because here we are. We're 9 months out now. We're 9 months out from mass distribution of the vaccine, and we're going to start seeing the effects on babies.
Well, they're going to start injecting babies. They're already studying it for infants.
Yeah, they want to do this Pfizer by December. And
what is the count nationwide of children? We had this statistic a week or two ago. It was only a few hundred. I mean, one is too many, I know, but very few children from 0 to 18 have died from COVID-19. It's incredibly rare. It's like 0.00012%.
Yeah, and to just talk about that teacher for a moment, talking about the polio vaccine.
Yeah.
How many doses do you have to keep going back for a booster every 6 months, 8 months?
I only remember the one sugar cube. One. I had one sugar cube from it.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And so if you caught polio, that was pretty debilitating, yeah? I mean, that's a serious thing.
Yeah, and I mentioned this before. My brother got polio from the vaccine. So...
Right, that's not good.
So, I mean, it's not like that was foolproof either, because there was a small percentage of people who got it, like, I don't know, maybe less than 1%, because it didn't, it's supposed to be not potent enough to give you, that's the whole point of it. But it happened in some cases. But this particular vaccine has surpassed all the other vaccines of the last 20 to 30 years combined in these kinds of problems.
Yeah. And remember,
in deaths and side effects.
And we haven't studied the effects. I mean, seriously. Whereas
long term, we have no idea.
Right. With these other vaccines, like polio, they actually studied these. And if you do get COVID, the chances of you dying from it are very slim. And even you have to have comorbidities, in most cases. If you're obese, that's when it really kicks in as well. If you look at the charts, I mean, we've shown them for the last year and a half. We've shown the numbers. So you're going to have to assess the risk for yourself if you want the vaccine or not. But I just don't see the point for someone who, A, has had it, and B, like you said, is healthy. It was said so eloquently. The whole spiel was said yesterday by that Orlando Magic basketball player.
He was so good. Really, really good. In Ankeny, Iowa?
Ankeny?
Is it Ankeny?
I don't know. Sure, we're going to go with that. Now Ankeny's going to be
I've never heard of
Ankeny
Ankeny or Ankeny. Somebody will probably call. Yeah. But more than 1,300 parents in that community school district signed a petition threatening to unenroll their kids if the district reinstates its mask mandate. Comes after a tension-filled 3-hour meeting to gather public input on the matter. And it ended with the district deciding to begin requiring masks again, starting today. A paragraph in the online petition reads, Ankeny parents signing this petition are opposed to a mandatory mask policy and willing to unenroll their children for the October 1st enrollment certification if masks are mandated again.
I love
it.
I love it.
This would apparently cost the district $7,000 per student enrolled, or $9.1 million.
Nice.
It doesn't sound like a gigantic town or school district.
It's a suburb of Des Moines.
Okay.
Like.
So $9 million probably means a lot to them.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
I'm just trying to see if there's an update if the parents got their way or not. But I mean that's how it all boils down to. Whether we're talking about the stock price of drug companies, or we're talking about how many federal dollars you get if your kid attends school. The bottom line of everything is money.
Yep.
And so use it to your advantage, like in the case of your kids being the cash cow for the district.
Exactly. Let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. If you're going to sell your home, maybe you're buying a home, maybe you're doing both because you're going to relocate, you need a really good realtor. Where do you find them? Well, realestateagentsitrust.com would be a great place. This is Glenn's company, and so he and his team have, I doubt Glenn's probably pored over the statistics of these realtors, to be honest, but his team has fully vetted these people, these realtors, to find only the best ones in each of the markets that we exist in. And I think there's 1,200 or 1,500 nationwide now, and they all have really good track records and marketing plans, and they'll get along with you because they're fans of the show, and they're people who know their business. So, I mean, they've got a lot going for them, and you want to sell your home quickly and for the most amount of money, and these are the people that can help you do that, give you all the advice you need to make that happen. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray returns.
Hi, welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Unrepentant Capitalist tweets. Big difference between COVID-19 and polio vaccine. Polio vaccine stopped you from getting polio. That's a really good point. If you got polio after taking the vaccine, it was actually from the vaccine. But that was incredibly rare. Incredibly rare. And here we are in the midst of this miracle vaccine that came around in less than a year. And people still get it. Well, yeah, okay, you could still get the virus after you get the vaccine.
Which nobody, being intellectually honest, believes that was expected when they made this thing, that you would still get the virus.
No, 95% effective? Jeez, I'll go with those odds. But we're nowhere near that now. We're nowhere near it.
Which clinical trials would have been helpful. To head something like this disaster off.
Yeah, well, they did the animal trials. The animal was human beings. Those trials are going on right now. So the animal trial is happening this minute. So we'll let you know how that goes. Well, we've told you a few things about
Break it to me gently. How's it going with the vaccine?
Not
Pat?
great. Not that great. Yeah. So
haven't grown a third tail.
Yeah, he's doing okay, right?
Yeah, he's
Jeffy's
fine.
doing fine?
Perfectly fine.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you tell, though?
That's a good point. It's raining horsewhips. Tweets, any other vaccine program would have been canceled after 30 or 50 deaths. Not 15,000 reported vax deaths.
That we know of, right?
There could be as many as 250,000 in the U.S. alone if you factor in the worst case scenario. That is so true. That's so true. How many people, do you know how many people died in the Tylenol scandal in, 81? Less than 50, or maybe right around 50 people. They took one of the biggest drugs off the market completely for over a year. Was it 2 years? Because of 50 people dying. Fen-Phen, I think it was 15 or 20 people died from that. They took it off the market. It's never been sold since. So 15,000 and you're not alarmed by that? It's amazing. It's really amazing. Caffeinated Texan tweets, this is why they won't settle for less than 100% compliance, plus frequent boosters. Money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Todd Curtis, my concern is why are people that have it pushing others to get the same thing that they obviously have no faith in? Yeah. And we've seen those, it's all the people who are arguing with themselves about getting the vaccine and not getting the vaccine.
Misery loves company, y'all.
Play that girl from the other day. Do we still have her around?
Yeah.
She's arguing with herself about
Tuesday.
She's mad that people aren't getting the vaccine. Please get it, because you're killers, you're murderers if you don't.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I think at this point it's just misery loves company, right?
Yep. Axis Tech, why is it wrong to take medicine originally made for animals? Aren't the medicines we take tested first on animals? Again, the answer to that is yes. Yes, indeed.
Stop using logic, y'all. I don't.
It's not going to get you anywhere in this day and age. It really isn't. Really not going to get you anywhere. Oh, by the way, quick update. Looks like Britney Spears is going to be out of her conservatorship in November.
I'm sorry?
That's the latest.
Okay, wow, thanks.
Her repressive 13-year conservatorship is set to end in November, and her dad's already obviously been booted out. He's done. So I thought he stepped down. This says a judge just kicked him out. But I thought he already stepped down.
I don't know, Pat. I feel like I'm the only person in
that
America
don't care about Britney Spears'
following this,
conservatorship.
doesn't care, sees the headlines, and just moves on with my life.
Yeah. I care in that it's a very strange story about the freedom of an individual.
That is
it is that aspect I care about. I mean, here's a woman who has been for 13 years controlled by other people. How does that happen in the United States of America?
Oh, wait, the same United States of America where our government is forcing employers to force employees to turn over their bodies to them?
Yes. And the same America that if they find cash on you that they think is a lot of money, they can just take it without charging you with a crime. It's that same America where we're losing all of our freedoms. And that's why I think that's why we have to talk about these stories. Because people have to stand up and say, okay, enough. This has to stop. It has to stop. 888-900-3393. You know what's weird? Alex Jones was in our building yesterday, I guess, right? Last night?
Oh, really? He wasn't up here for At the Mic? Because I would have sat down and talked to him.
Would you?
About his life story? Oh, I got to hear that story.
I think Elijah had him in.
Huh.
And so I don't know if he cried while he was here.
And
to
feel what the children are feeling. God almighty. Folks, we gotta get good people to stand up against these people. I probably shouldn't even have done this radio show today.
Already did.
Because I have this disgusted cover for how I just hate the globalists, but it's more than that.
It's more than that.
And I just get flippant and angry, but it's because deep down, folks, I can see what they're doing, and we have a responsibility to stop these globalists.
Yep. We do.
Where are the men in this country? Where are the men in this world? What the hell have we become?
I need a man.
We just offer our children up to the system with the fluoride in the water and the GMO hurting them, and we let fat perverts grab them at the airport and train them for the pedophile government. And we've just got such a sick society.
We do. And it leads me to wonder, where are the men? Have they all been killed by fluoride? Every one of them?
What gear are you in?
Pat Gray.
Inevitably, people ask after I've talked about Alex Jones, why don't you like Alex Jones? He's like, if not the father of the 9/11 conspiracy theory, he's certainly the main purveyor of it, right? You know that, right? That the Bush administration conducted that operation so that they could then go to war with Islam. That's Alex Jones. Alex Jones basically doesn't believe in Islamic terrorism. He thinks it's all from the government. Alex Jones called this building that he was just in last night a CIA branch.
A substation.
Substation. FBI or CIA or whatever. And Glenn is a member of the CIA.
Yeah, CIA.
Thank you. At one point, he was saying that Glenn actually did the bidding of Barack Obama.
That's right.
Remember that? I mean, the guy's a nut job.
So why don't you like him again? I'm not following your...
You're not following?
Do you have any data to support
Yeah,
your,
I do. I have a ton of it.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yeah. So that's just hopefully that explains it.
a little bit.
Yeah. But, like, for instance,
he wants to be left standing as the new vestigial leader of what's left of libertarians.
I think right here he's talking about Ben Shapiro. Terrence.
And, I just said here in the office earlier on air, I said, he brags he's got all these FBI agents that work for him, former FBI, that, he's got all these people. I've talked to people that worked there years ago about how they watch everything we do, and they're supposed to be us, but then demonize us.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
I was told that by...
Who?
By?
High-level people.
Who?
I mean, repeatedly, and it's not even that big of a deal. I'd be going into Fox Studios, be on another show.
Yeah.
They say Glenn Beck is freaking out, climbing the walls.
I guarantee that never, we were there. That never happened.
Hold on a second.
First of all, I don't know when he was ever in the building. Secondly, we wouldn't have known if he were.
Yeah.
It's like a 40-story building. No interest in Alex Jones, except when he goes off and we find some pleasure in mocking it.
Quote, he said, quote, it's not that big of a deal, yet he spent a segment on it.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
You can't come on now. And I'd be, that's fine. I'm going over to The View and going over to do, CNN. It's not that big of a deal, but, but Glenn Beck and his, quote, people don't want you in here. They're throwing fits.
No.
They've got pull in the government.
Okay, so that's just, total lies.
Wait.
So we got pull in the government. Oh, that's where he was going to go into it. Nah, I turned it off.
A government that Obama was president at the time? Oh, dear heavens.
Yes, that's where he was going to launch into. They're part of the government. Okay, all righty. Thank you. So that's a little insight for you, if you were wondering. Let me tell you about Rough Greens. Rough Greens is a delicious supplement. At least my dog thinks it is. I haven't tried it, frankly. I'll be honest with you. I have not tried it. But my dog loves this stuff. Would not eat her food unless Rough Greens was on top of it, which was great because then it provides the essential vitamins and minerals for the probiotics and the omega oils. It's not actual dry kibble food because that's all burned out of it when they sterilize the stuff. So most dogs love this right out of the box. And before you jump in with both feet, you can see if your dog will too. Because Rough Greens is going to send you a free bag for your dog to try out. Just a small little bag. And if your dog loves it, then great. You can buy the bigger bag. And all you have to pay for this time is shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com, RUFFgreens.com, or call 833-ROUGH-DOG.
Pat Gray.
Oh, I like this statistic. This is good stuff. Free speech, not exactly beloved by college students. New survey of the top 150 colleges in the U.S. found that nearly 25% of students said it's acceptable to use violence to shut down a controversial speaker.
Oh, boy.
What?
We're done.
The number jumps to 50% at several elite women's colleges. According to the survey, Claremont McKenna College ranks best for free speech. DePauw University ranks the worst. I wonder where BYU fit into this. That'd be interesting to see.
What, does it say the name of the study? I can look it up.
It is... okay. I'll have to look afterwards.
I'll look for it.
Yeah, I'll look. It found that 66% of students said it's acceptable to shout down a speaker to prevent them from speaking on campus, and more than 80% reported censoring their views at their colleges at least some of the time.
Not good. Not good.
Again, we're losing this generation. We're losing them to constitutional values, to freedom, to capitalism. They're all going the way of Marxist oppression right now because that's what they're being taught in school. Also, university established some separate housing for diversity of Black and African American people.
Oh, this ends well.
Wait. Is that for diversity? When you're segregating people, that's for diversity? That's interesting because in the 50s, we looked at it a bit differently. A Washington University established a housing program for Black students to examine their culture separate from the influence of other races.
Kind of a long pause by you on there. Was there a comma like that really stood out for you there?
No. No.
Okay. All right, well.
Western Washington University transformed the fourth floor of its Alma Clark Glass Hall into a what's called Black Affinity housing. The program explores and celebrates the diversity of Black and African American people and culture with historical and contemporary context. The Alma Clark Glass Hall was chosen for Black Affinity housing because it was named after the first Black student to attend the university. All Western students residing in the program help foster a warm and vibrant community supporting social, personal, and academic success. But no whiteys allowed, I guess. Or Hispanics, for that matter, or Asians.
It's kind of one of those places where those white kids on campus at Arizona State would not be allowed. Oh, I heard somebody, one of your listeners, I haven't verified this, but they said that those chicks got kicked out of, expelled from ASU for that confrontation of those
really
two young men. I want to see.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, good for them.
Let me see here.
Good.
Let me see here.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's an interesting update to the story,
yeah,
if true.
Let me okay.
Yeah, see if you can track that down.
Okay, yeah.
Meantime, let me tell you about Omega XL. Because if you're in pain and you strongly believe that pain's from inflammation, I mean, usually the area, like my elbow, felt hot. You could touch it, and it felt hot.
Yeah.
It was just inflamed. I don't know what caused it. Never found out. I just knew that it hurt and it hampered my movement. And finally took Omega XL. And the Omega XL built up my system. And after a week, it started to relieve the pain. And after 2 weeks, the pain was gone. And it has not been back. This is backed by 35 years of clinical research. For most people, it really does work. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's not a drug that you're going to have to rely on a doctor to prescribe, go to the pharmacy to get, or become dependent upon. This is all natural, and it comes from the waters around New Zealand, these omega fatty acids. It's great stuff. Give it a try, and it could be a game changer for you. Omega XL. Go to omegaxl.com right now. When you buy your first bottle, they're going to throw in a second one for free. omegaxl.com/Pat. You buy one, you get one free. omegaxl.com/Pat or 800-844-4888.
Pat Gray.
Pat, I'm not seeing, I can't confirm that those students were expelled. So if anyone has a story, please send it my way at Keith Malinak on Twitter. I found the rankings of those free speech on college campuses. Is this one where it says DePaul University has the worst score?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was...
So they rank them on this website, and they associate like with it, like speech code red, speech code warning, all this stuff. Anyway, you had asked about Brigham Young University.
Yes.
Out of
150, right?
Well, out of 154 colleges and universities.
Yes.
Your favorite school ranks 140, as in not good at all. In fact, it says it's got
140th
warning rating there. Yeah. Tolerance.
Oh, my gosh. For free speech.
Yeah. It's not good. I'm just looking at the breakdown here. Comfort expressing ideas.
Unbelievable. So give me the top. Do you have the top 5?
The 5 worst?
No, the 5. Give me the 5 best.
Let me scroll. Hang on.
Because the best was Claremont McKenna.
Yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 is what? University of Chicago?
What? For free speech?
Oh, come on now. Who's doing this? This is a joke. Is this April Fool's? However, number 3 is Hillsdale.
Oh, I believe
that's the university that takes not a federal cent.
Yep.
So they're tied for second. Then third would be University of New Hampshire, Maine campus. Okay.
Wow.
Emory University? Oh,
Emory.
Wow. Florida State. So there might be more than 100.
Florida State.
Yeah, because some of these are like tied rankings. So there's probably 160, 100. I don't know. Let's see.
That's really something.
But if you go through the top 10, you've got Florida State. Let's see, a few more. Purdue, University of Maryland. Oh my goodness, really? UCLA. This is flawed. University of Arizona and William and Mary round up top 10 there.
That is a surprising.
Yeah, come on.
That's a surprising study. Wow.
Okay, well, Nebraska's 92, so they're like middle of the pack. Hey, you know what? We'll strive for middle of the pack in anything these days.
Unfortunately, including football.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, dang.
The fact that college kids are thinking this is where you're supposed to. That is what a college campus is for. Free speech.
Right. Yeah. That's correct. Look how it's changed, though. Look how much it's changed.
Not fun.
I mean, now they're protesting people being able to speak on campus, whereas before, back in the 60s, they weren't allowed to speak and we're protesting that. And now it's just the opposite. Now we don't want people speaking to us. How dare they feel this way? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, the change. It's really something.
There is no denying, regardless of your point of view, that we are devolving as a nation.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Absolutely right. All right. 888-900-3393. Did I do that Biden?
Yeah.
We did that Biden thing, right?
The pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Yes.
Yep, that's me.
Right. Did that.
Guilty.
Me too. Me too. I guess we're murdering people. We're walking around town murdering people, despite the fact that I've tested negative for it many, many times. Many, many times, and I know I don't have it. I guess I'm still spreading it because I haven't been vaccinated.
See, we're what you would call low-key murderers. Mm-hmm. Like, we just walk around. It comes naturally to us. We don't even realize we're doing it.
Yeah. We don't even have to think about it. That's how good we are.
Yeah.
Assassinating people.
You got it. You're quiet and silent or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm getting some blood work done, I don't know, a few weeks from now. And they're going to find out if I have antibodies there still. So I'll let you know.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah, because it's been almost a year. I mean,
when will it be a year?
December.
December?
Yeah. So I think it's in November I get this blood work. Whole bunch of stuff.
Supposedly, who was it that was just telling us? Somebody in this room, I think, was saying they've determined that the antibodies, if they're natural, last a lot longer. They're long lasting.
Well, remember the SARS people didn't get COVID, and
that have it from 2009 and 2010.
2003, there was an outbreak in China, I believe it was, right? Is that right?
Yes, I think that's true.
So 17, 18 years later, they still had protection just because it was in that same family of viruses.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's the problem, though. Is we have to stop having off-air conversations in this room.
I know, because then you can never remember.
Because we have asked ourselves so many times.
I know.
Was that on? Wait, Corby, do you remember? Was that in here? Wait, was that? So we're gonna have to just move out the hallway when we have these conversations off the air.
Yes. Will Smith, by the way, is opening up and sharing his truth.
Oh yes, I love his truth.
That is something I'm beginning to hate that expression so much. I can't begin to tell you. Mm-hmm. Speak your truth. Speak his truth. There's no such thing. There's only truth or there's falsehood. It's one or the other. There's nobody's, this is my truth. No, I'm sorry. You're not entitled to your own little truth.
So you're denying my truth?
Yes. Yes, there's only truth. It's either true or it's not. It can't be yours. I'm sorry.
Oh,
can't. Not when it comes to factual things. But the longtime actor recently sat down with Pulitzer Prize winner and the Route 100 honoree Wesley Lowery for GQ, where he discussed, among many other things, his forthcoming films, King Richard and Emancipation, currently filming in Louisiana, his career trajectory and the forces that inspired and drove him, and his upcoming memoir, too, aptly titled Will.
Wait, Will?
Yeah, Will.
Not my truth? Not Will's truth?
Mm-mm. Nope, just plain Will.
You're going to read that book cover to cover, am I right?
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get an advance copy.
Wow.
Really super soon.
I didn't realize you were such a big Will Smith fan.
Oh, I'm less so now, tell you that.
Yeah.
So he opened up about several things, including his views on Black Lives Matter and defund the police. He says, so abolish the police, defund the police. I would love if we would just say defund the bad police. Okay. It's almost like I want, as Black Americans, for us to change our marketing for the new position we're in. So critical race theory, just call it truth theory. No.
Oh, no.
No, Will.
William.
No. The pendulum is swinging in our direction beautifully. And there's a certain humility that will most capitalize on the moment for the future of Black Americans without discounting the difficulty and the pain and the emotion.
Oh, he's going to have some humility here with the rest of what he has to say?
No.
Oh.
This is a difficult area to discuss, but I feel like the simplicity of Black Lives Matter was perfect. Anybody who tries to debate Black Lives Matter looks ridiculous.
Wait, where's that humility you were just giving us a heads up on? So we can't debate, now we can't even have a conversation? We rapidly went from let's have a conversation to I'm not going to talk about this with you.
Right. Black Lives Matter is perfect. Come on.
Are trained Marxists.
I'm sorry, what?
Are trained Marxists.
You are what?
Are trained Marxists. Are trained Marxists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfectly stated, I think, is what the rest of the sentence.
They are trained Marxists, Will. Is that perfection to you? What a buffoon. Why does everybody have to ruin it? Seriously, I did like Will Smith. This pisses me off, though. From a standpoint of getting it done, Black Lives Matter gets it done. Defund the police doesn't get it done, no matter how good the ideas are. I'm not saying we couldn't defund the police. I'm saying just don't say that, because then people who would help won't. Okay.
Wait a minute.
That's great. That's perfect. That's brilliant. That's wonderful. Don't you love Will Smith now? Isn't that great? Don't you want to run out and see his movies?
I mean, he did save humanity.
By his memoir.
He saved humanity, but
multiple times, I think.
Doesn't give him the right.
I know.
Yeah. Man, he has defeated zombies and aliens.
Yeah.
Saved society, and then he goes and ruins it by saying, "Don't debate me on this."
Don't you look foolish? You look ridiculous if you dare oppose Black Lives Matter
But I mean,
nonsense.
again, do you give a little bit more leeway to somebody who has saved humanity not once, but at least twice that we know of? And never mind, the stuff with the government that he did with the little memory stick thingy.
And the robots. He saved us from the robots.
Oh my gosh!
Remember that?
The man is a hero.
Yeah.
You know what? I like Black Lives Matter now.
Do you?
Yeah, just because.
Okay. I'm not quite there yet, but
he's
good luck with that. Meantime, let me tell you about Built Bars. If you like a good snack throughout the day, but you'd rather not pack on the pounds, this is the way to go. If you are really hungry during the day and you're used to eating junk, this is nothing like that, because Built Bars have only 180 calories or less. They have 18 grams of protein, up to 18 grams of protein, 4 to 5 grams of sugar, 4 to 5 net carbs. So they're actually good for you, and they taste delicious. You're going to love the flavors. Double chocolate, salted caramel, coconut, mint brownie, cookies and cream, the new Rocky Road flavor. They're great. And if you can't decide which one you want to get, just get a mixed box where you get a bunch of all of them.
Yeah, they sent us the cookie dough. There's a box in here.
I love those.
And I was in here by myself the other day, yesterday, I guess it was, and Jeffy came in here and goes, "Hey, do we have any Built Bars in here?" And you hesitate because you want to share the goodness.
No, and you want to hide them.
But it's Jeffy. And you're like, wow, we had some. But anyway, they're so good. Oh.
Go to Built.com and find out for yourself. You're going to love them. Use the promo code PAT15 to save 15% off your first order. PAT15 for 15% off at Built.com.
Gray Unleashed.
Oh, by the way, we got this interesting tweet, I guess. It was a tweet from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
An expatriate down under who tweets, "Hey, Pat and Keith, whatever is happening in Melbourne, Victoria, don't think that's happening. That's not all of Australia. It's not. I've not seen or heard anything like that in Sydney or elsewhere. It's not at all like what you're saying it is." Well, I mean, I don't know that we're saying... I mean, we are because we're looking at the evidence of the videos that
we're showing videos, reading stories, listening to the
when the cops
leaders.
are beating people in the streets, showing up at people's homes and interrogating about whether or not they plan to attend a protest, that's pretty bad.
And the leaders themselves have been telling us what they plan on doing and are doing right now, and don't leave your home, blah, blah, blah. So,
and now we have this story. Sydney residents who are not vaccinated risk being barred from various social activities, even when they're freed from stay-at-home orders in December. So I guess the lockdown is set to end in December, right?
Okay, yeah, apparently.
But the New South Wales state premier, Gladys...
Gladys Awesome.
Berejiklian.
Sure.
Says that under a roadmap to exit lockdown in Australia's biggest city, unvaccinated people are already subject to delays in freedoms that will be gradually granted to inoculated residents between October 11th and December 1st. So what they're saying is there's essentially going to be a separate society for the unvaccinated.
Is there a word for that comes to mind? I think I remember growing up hearing about South Africa.
Apart from hides.
You're getting there. I think I'll recognize it when you say it. It's there. Yeah, something like that. Sure. A vaccinated apartheid is what we're doing right now. And
that's what ridiculous. We're doing. Yeah. That's what this sounds like. She said a lot of businesses have said they will not accept anyone who is unvaccinated. Life for the unvaccinated will be very difficult indefinitely.
Oh, jeez.
So
these people make me want to say bad words.
I know. I know. I know. The two-tier system designed to encourage more people to get vaccinated has been criticized for both penalizing vulnerable groups who have not had access to inoculations and for falling short of providing a real incentive for the vaccine hesitant. Well, you know, I don't know that you can ever get... I mean, if you're really vaccine hesitant, you have your reasons. And maybe there's not anything that can convince you otherwise.
And whose business is it anyway?
Yeah, right.
My gosh, I don't have to tell you anything. No, that's my answer. But don't you want to say no?
No.
I'm done talking. No.
That's not going to work.
You don't want to help people?
It's not going to work.
Oh, so you're a killer.
Yeah, you're a murderer.
Wow. So you're selfish.
Right.
Now that, yes. Definitely.
Yes.
Yes. I'll give you a yes on that.
All right.
Yeah.
We will finish off the week together, and Jeffy will join us to do that tomorrow here on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.